I'm glad you could be here because it's going to be a fun night in my penthouse tonight. My guests, exotic Adrian and Miss Linda. And Adrian, I've got to ask you, is there anything I can do tonight to try and bring you out of your shell a bit?
Well, I'm Leglux Liberace. I'm exotic Adrian Street. I can make a deathlock dainty. I can bake a nutcracker sweet. I've got no candelabra, and I cannot play a note. But I hear a moonlight sonata every time I grab a throat.
I told you it was going to be a fun night after all. Adrian, let me ask you. You and Miss Linda, of course, the reigning mixed world tag team champions, but I almost get the impression, other than that title, you're really not interested in any of the other wrestling championships.
I've held them all, dear, every one of them. You name them, and these are the most prestigious titles in the world, so these are the ones that we really must look after.
Yeah.
Well, there's no question. You know, interestingly, a couple of weeks back, we did a segment on Inside the L.P.W.A. on you and Miss Linda. You have a tremendous amount of merchandise, and talk about varied careers.
Well, I was a rock and roll star before I was even a professional wrestler, and yes, I'm working on my third record album at the moment. The first one is Shake, Wrestle and Roll, and it's followed up by Naughty But It's Nice, and then it's going to be MTV, Mayhem,
Really?
Torture and Violence.
An appropriate title. You know, you talk about your rock and roll records. A lot of fans have written in, asked me, have you ever thought about the possibility of singing on the program?
Oh, it'd be wonderful. I'd love to sing on the program. You just try and stop me.
Well, we'll try and work that out. Now, besides singing, I understand you're a very accomplished writer as well.
I've written a book, also called Shake, Wrestle and Roll, from a screenplay that I've written. I've written all the music for it, and I'm hoping that's going to be on the silver screen in a very, very near future.
Well, with the success you've had, it wouldn't surprise me one bit. And I know I'm certainly glad that you and Miss Linda are here in the L.P.W.A. It's time. You're taking wrestling in almost new dimensions. Speaking of time, if you're ready, I think dinner's just about ready to be served.
Wonderful.
I love Chateaubriand.
Hi, I'm Jan Flame, and I've got a few letters from my fans, and I'd like to read you some of them. Here's one from Larry McCaffrey from San Diego, California, and he asked me, how many tattoos do you have? Well, I've got a lot of them. But, Larry, I've probably got over 100 hours of tattoo time, and that's a lot of pain. And here's another one from George Sipanewski from Des Moines, Iowa, who asked me, I have followed women's wrestling for a long time, and I think that you are the best. Who is your toughest opponent? Well, all the girls from the L.P.W.A. are pretty darn tough. But I'd say Sue Saxton is the toughest of all. And here's another letter from Stephen Alder, Indianapolis, Indiana. Do you like tag teams or single matches best? Well, I kind of like a tag team because I like to share my victories. See you next week.
What a great time to pick up the phone right now and give us a call, right?
The number is 1-900-234-LPWA. Sarge, so oftentimes we talk about and see things at ringside that we really can't mention on television, but this is your opportunity to really find out what's going on here in the LPWA. And a lot of times, Sarge, when we're back in the dressing area, we hear some very interesting tidbits, and it's our chance to tell you all about the LPWA behind the scenes.
That's right, and kids, if you're going to call, make sure you ask Mom and Dad first. In fact, put Mom and Dad on the line. I'd like to hear from them, too, and that's in order.
We certainly do. You'll find out everything you want to know about the LPWA, and more importantly, it's our opportunity to hear what you fans would like to see and what you think about the LPWA, and you'll get a chance to hear from some of your favorite stars like Locomotion, Big Mo, and Little Mo.
I'm fast and I'm small, but if you get past me, I guarantee you're gonna fall.
Call us now. We want to hear from you.
Hello, Mr. President.
Welcome to LPWA Hold of the Week. This week we'll be looking at the fireman's carry, a very effective takedown move in professional wrestling. Now let's go to the center of the ring and take a closer look at what's actually happening with the fireman's carry. As you can see, the two girls positioned squared off in the open stance. First into the tie-up position. Offensive girl comes around and through behind the triceps. Next, there is a drop step through with the left leg securing position behind the neck, right knee down, keeping the position tight against the neck and thrusting up and over. Now let's take a look at the fireman's carry in one continuous motion. From the open stance, start. And the hold is complete. And there you have it from LPWA Hold of the Week.
The L.P.W.A. from Laughlin, Nevada.